The North. Known for its industry, hard-working and innovative people, we are the engineers of the past and always look for solutions for the future. Our Creative North wants to celebrate that and show the world what we can do.
Welcome to Our Creative North, the show that celebrates the creative and digital media sector right here in the north of England. Now, apart from being battered and bruised from rugby, I've also been battered and bruised trying to get you, our creative and digital media sector, exporting. Now, this month we've been speaking to lots of businesses, some export organisations, about helping you export and thinking more about how you can make more money and better business from abroad. But we've also set ourselves a mission to teach the young people of the north about exporting and what it can do for their future. So we're visiting our creative pioneers to see what they can do.
Time to meet the pioneers, George Burke, Dan Cradis and Jordan Bird. Now it's time for the guys to receive their challenge. I wonder what's in store.
Hi guys, as you know, this month has all been about exporting and the importance of exporting and what it can do for the Northeast region. So I'm setting you, our creative pioneers, a challenge to make me a 2-minute promo to show the importance of exporting and what it can do. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing those videos.
So Rob's just given us our brief, and I'm very optimistic about what we can achieve today.
We were asked to create a 1-minute video for businesses about the work that we do in the Northeast for exporting.
So basically what we're thinking about doing is maybe going to a few businesses, seeing what the work they do there, get a few interviews with them, and then put it together with some of the ideas that we have.
The North has some really great creative talent, and us going in and seeing what it's all about, it's going to give us a new perspective on what can be done.
Hopefully as a team we can pull together and come up with something really good.
So the next step is we just need to get our ideas on paper, so come on guys, we need to go.
Oh, it's all heating up. Let's see how they're getting on with the challenge.
Hey guys, so we've been given the brief, so it's to create a 1-minute video that promotes the Northeast creative and digital businesses work for the purpose of exporting. So the video has to be exciting, promotional, positive, and also to get the message across. So has anyone got any ideas?
Yeah, I'm thinking that we'll get on the phone to some local creative businesses and see if they would like to be a part of a promotional video. Be a good promotion for themselves as well.
Yeah.
So Dan, would you like to get on that?
Yeah, I'll research that, no problem.
Okay, so I was thinking to start off the video, we could maybe have an introduction from ourselves, just to introduce what we're doing.
I think we should start with like a walking shot of the...
Obviously Newcastle's a beautiful place, so there's plenty of landmarks where we could maybe go to start it off with.
Yeah, but I think we're thinking of like creative businesses that like want somewhere that screams creativity. I'm thinking somewhere like at the NDC, like where it's got all the creative businesses there, or if you want to go just on aesthetic look, we could go to any of the landmarks around here. So
I think that's a great call. I think throughout it I should maybe throw in a few statistics about exporting here in the UK, or the Northeast itself.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just trying to find any creative business that I believe could do exporting, could potentially be a candidate for doing exporting.
We're going to have one presenter, which is going to be Jordan. We're going to have him doing a piece to camera, basically introducing what exporting is, outside the toffee factory or somewhere around Ousburn, where something that shows creative businesses. And then basically we're going to what he's going to be splashing out facts and figures throughout it, which is going to have graphics on the screen, so it hammers home the figures to the viewer. We're going to have interviews with different businesses, the owners of the businesses, talking about basically how they expand, how they do exporting in their business. And then we're going to have montage clips of different businesses' work.
I found one business in particular, Paul Windle Creative Art Studio. They do kind of concept art and 3D illustration.
So I've got a website up here. It's got a few statistics about exporting. So basically what it's saying is the total exports for September 2015 are up dramatically, with an increase of 10% compared to the month before that.
Yeah,
so then we could maybe
they'd be good to have on there.
Highlight that as well.
Yeah, if you talk about them, then we can have them in like flying into the screen.
Of course, yeah.
We need a structure for this film, so I think if you're going to be presenting, then I'm confident if I can direct it. I think what will be best if you once you've got these businesses, if you get on the phone to them and see if they can send in some work that we can have put in the montage, because we need to spice it up a bit. We can't just have it just interviews.
Now the guys are off to Atom Hawk, a cool design agency based in Gateshead.
So me and George are here at the Northern Design Centre and we're about to meet some of the guys from Atom Hawk.
We're not 100% sure on what it is we're going to find when we get inside, but I've heard a lot of good things about this place, so we're really looking forward to it.
Really intrigued to see some of the work they might do there.
So first, could you just introduce yourself, your name, position at the company, please?
Yeah, my name is Tim Wilson and I'm Head of Operations at Atom Hawk.
So could you just talk us through a bit of what your company offers?
Atom Hawk is a visual development and design studio. We specialise in the games, film and entertainment space. Basically, we take ideas from scripts or storyboards and we bring them to life as fantastic characters or environments.
What are some of the differences you've found working with companies overseas as to in comparison to in the UK?
There are certainly key differences that you have to keep in mind when working with clients in overseas markets. For example, there's clear things like time zone differences. When you're walking into work in the morning, some clients the other side of the world are going to bed. We find that actually can work to our advantage, so we can put in a full day's work and then submit our artwork just as the client is getting in the morning, meaning they have time to look at it, submit their feedback, and we're ready to roll, meaning you're basically working the full 24 hours of the day. Other things you have to keep in mind are cultural sensitivities. So, for example, in the design space, a colour may mean one thing in one culture and something very different in another.
What are some of the benefits that you found in exporting?
I think some of the key benefits to exporting are it basically amplifies the market that you can actually take your product to. If we were just to focus on the games development companies in the UK, that's quite a small pond to aim at. Whereas if we can take our services globally, that's obviously a much bigger business development area we can target.
Now it's time to catch up with George. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to see a company in the North East work on such big films such as Guardians of the Galaxy. You would think like a production company such as Marvel, you would think they would have their own in-house people doing it. You wouldn't think they would be exporting from like the North East.
Now over to Paul Windle Design.
Hi, my name is Keith Opie. I'm one of the senior designers here at Paul Windle Design. I'm also one of the directors, along with my fellow director, John Dyer. Paul Windle Design is a creative arts studio. We do specialise more in illustration work for the toy and game sector. We provide a full service from packaging, illustration, style guides, product development work, logo development, basically the whole creative service.
So we just talked to us a little bit about how exporting is different to working with clients here in the UK.
I suppose one of the biggest ones would be obviously meeting face to face. You have to do foreign sort of visits. Not that many occasions when that happens, but we do visit toy fairs and trade fairs in Europe, not so much America.
Okay, so exporting. What products or services do you export?
A lot of our clients have built up over the years and they've become global brands. And a lot of their head offices are elsewhere, either in Europe or America. The British side of things is a lot smaller. A lot of the printing work is China, so we deal a lot sending all our artwork to China to get printed.
Good, great. So how do you feel as though exporting's helped your business and do you feel as though it's been beneficial?
Oh, definitely. It's more than 50% of our business. I goes far to say is probably about 70% of our work is for foreign clients.
So we've just finished filming down at Paul Windle. We met some of the guys down there, Keith Opie. Got an interview with him about exporting right here in the North East. Well, really nice.
Yeah, it's amazing the work they do here in the North East. You wouldn't really expect it. You would have thought it would be a big company in America doing stuff like that, but it's just right here on your doorstep. It really makes you think that really you can do anything.
Now let's head over to the edit and let's hear from George.
Yeah, so looking through the clips now, it seems like we've got a good selection of footage. The shots are great and the sound's looking pretty good at the minute. So hopefully that keeps up throughout and we can get a good promotional video sent out. Just finished the first draft cut now. I'm just about to go through and grade it. Shouldn't take too long. Just finished the final cut. It's looking great and I can't wait for Rob to see it. Hope he's happy with it.
It's really good to see companies like Paul Windle Design and Atom Hawk inspiring our next generation of creative and digital media talent. Now after the break we find out how they've been getting on and I get to see the promo and hopefully we're going to inspire you guys to start exporting and start making this region great.
Now it's time to meet Luke Daly, owner of JJ Industries, to learn a bit about what he exports.
So my company name's JJ Industries. It actually comes from my history playing video games when I used to make items in games, because you can always craft things in games now. And when I left it for years, I used to do 3D modelling, but there was never a use for it. So when 3D printing started coming along, I started making things, and having them in your hand in the real world totally changed the way I felt about them. I provide resources for costumers, so people who make their own costumes for Stormtroopers or Boba Fett or Kylo Ren. Sometimes they'll come to us for a part that they either can't get because it's not available, or it was made in 1920 or something really old and obscure, and recreate it basically as accurate as possible. There's a lot of people out there who'll make mass-produced things, and anytime you go into a store you'll buy something that's made in the 20,000s and more, whereas when you get this, the details can be perfect. And there's more, especially with costuming becoming more popular and prevalent, there's a whole range of people who just want really detailed items. So in terms of what I make, it's making those really detailed items for costuming that people want. And that could be anything really. Well, this is my take on the Kylo Ren helmet, which is the new bad guy from the film Star Wars. So this was originally, I designed it in SolidWorks, which is a CAD application. It was then 3D printed in several parts, and then cast in polyurethane, which is some of the skills I've picked up from local builders. I've got a friend called Nathan Lim in Yarm who's been giving me a hand learning how to do all this stuff in the past year, and it's been a fantastic help. But yeah, this is my first version of the new helmet. So I've actually already started on version 2. Because by the time I finished it, I already looked at it and went, oh, I can make it better. This was 11 parts to print, so you had the full dome, the whole side flare was one piece, this faceplate was one piece, these mouth plates come off and are separate, and there's also some separate parts I haven't brought in today, but basically to build it up as a single piece was about 10 to 11 pieces, because you can get 3D printers now that are probably the size of this room. You get 3D printers that can build whole houses, but for the stuff I'm doing, the one I have at home prints a 12-inch cube effectively, so that will print most of the dome in one piece, which is quite a sizable amount. But you know, you can always put bits together, but when you're making the final piece, when you're casting the final bit, as long as you sand and smooth all the bits on the 3D print the first time, you make one master with the 3D print and then cast. Well, in terms of making things like this, where you do something like a casting run, which is where you'll make multiple helmets or multiple things, you have to do them in at least a small enough volume to justify it. Whereas if I was only selling to just people in Newcastle or at market stalls, you just would not be able to get that volume. Because it's the internet, they can be anywhere. So they are in America, they are in Japan, they are in Australia, they're anywhere. So exporting is not just a big part of my business, it is the entirety of my business really. It's a moderately easy process once you get past the regularities of having to ship, because I had to ask HM and Revenues for export codes and all the other the stuff you don't think about really, because you go, I've made this item, let's get it out there. And I remember having my first parcel returned to us because they went, you haven't got a tariff code, and I went, I don't even know what a tariff code is. So there was a whole host of challenges to shipping my first sets of items, and if I was going into that fresh, it's a minefield for somebody getting into it, but it's doable as long as you just put the hours in and look online for the information. It's all there. It's just there's just a lot of information. So yeah, there is some challenges and borders out there. Not out of any particular pride for the UK, but most of the parts actually came from the UK, because other than the 3D printing and the casting, a lot of the stuff is like locally sourced fabrics and metalwork done in local places. So Recently I've been recreating the fabric for this Kylo Ren costume, the new bad guy from Star Wars, and I got in contact with I think about 30 or 40 mills and fabric suppliers in the UK, and only one of them got back in touch to say they could do it. Unfortunately, they're in Carlisle, so I've had over 800 metres manufactured of fabric, which is something like 20 grand of fabric. It's a massive quantity of fabric. We've also got a huge leather merchant in Newcastle. We've got Lepreville Leather, so all my leather work I buy from there and I make myself. And then some of the engineering stuff I've been doing lately, like some of the metal work. There's down in South Shields we've got a really old school engineering world still there, so you can still get things properly machined and milled and grooved and processes you can't do at home.
Now Rob's about to see the video. Let's see what he thinks.
So I set you a challenge to do a 2-minute video on export, and how have we got on?
We've gone really well this week. We've got some great interviews from Paul Windle and Adam Hawke, and really broadened my knowledge on exporting.
In regards to the actual promo itself, have you learned about exporting throughout the past week or so?
We learned that exporting is becoming a lot more prominent in the Northeast as people are starting to realise the differences between the two types of exporting that you can do, and companies are realising that they can actually do it.
What have you tried to do with the 2-minute video then?
The idea I had for the video was to an introduction from myself, just introducing the video and just saying what it was going to include. So I'd been Paul Windle and Adam Hawke, and got interviews from them, just telling them a bit about how they export and how they've got along doing it. And then have stats about exporting in the north itself, just about do people export here, and they were just going to flash up like over the top of the interviews.
Okay, and were the companies quite receptive about working with them?
Yeah, the two businesses we went to see were Paul Windle and Adam Hawke, and they were very cooperative. You know, they told us everything we needed. They're really good in the interviews, and you know, they seem to have a really good understanding of what exporting is all about and how they can utilise it in their company.
So have you enjoyed your week or so doing this video on exporting?
Yeah, this week's been great, yeah. Exporting is definitely the next big thing that young people need to get involved with. It's a way to really expand your business, and it's a way to get ahead of the game.
So hi guys, we were asked to produce a 2-minute video that was to show the importance of exporting right here in the northeast of England. So sit back, relax and enjoy.
I'm Keith Opie, senior creative artist and one of the 2 directors of the company.
My name is Tim Wilson and I'm head of operations at Adam Hawke.
Service-wise, we specialise more in illustration, but we are a design agency.
Adam Hawke is a visual development and design studio, and we specialise in the games, film and entertainment space.
A lot of our clients have built up over the years and they've become global brands.
Exporting actually makes up a really key part of our business. A significant portion of our clients are overseas.
Probably about 70% of our work is for foreign clients.
There are certainly key differences that you have to keep in mind when working with clients in overseas markets. There's clear things like time zone differences, so you need to be culturally aware when designing.
I suppose one of the biggest ones would be obviously meeting face to face. You have to do foreign sort of visits, organising flights and going out to meet your client face to face.
I think some of the key benefits to exporting are it basically amplifies the market that you can actually take your product to. If we were just to focus on the games development companies in the UK, that's quite a small pond to aim at.
So there we have it guys. I hope that video showed you a little bit more about exporting and how vital it is for businesses. Thanks for watching.
Well, there we go. Pretty good effort that, I think, boys, especially in the short time that you had to deliver it. Now, I think what's most important about this exercise is to get other companies understanding what exporting is and why it's a benefit to your business. I'm pretty happy with that. I think we should be sending that out to a database. Do you think we're going to achieve the required results with it?
Well, I think when people see it, they're going to know that it's been made to inform them and encourage them to start on this type of thing.
Brilliant. And you think more young people need to start understand what exporting is?
Yeah, it seems like it's a new up-and-coming thing where a few years' time everyone will be doing it, so definitely it's a thing to be looking to do.
Well, let's just hope that your videos inspired the rest of your generation as well as some creative digital media companies to start thinking about it. Okay, cheers boys.
Now let's head back over to George Burke and see what he has to say.
Overall, it's all positive feedback. He was pretty much happy. It's when it's exceeded his expectations, and all I've got to say is well done to our team, because we've really nailed it today. If there could be one thing I could change about the day, it would be that we had a bit more time planning. Although I was overall pleased with the day, I think we could have made it even more better.
You see, it's so important that we get young people thinking about exporting now, because these guys are our pioneers now, but they will be our creative and digital media champions in the future. Now, if you're a business or a young person wanting to get involved in creative and digital media as a sector, or if you're inspired to export yourself, please visit us by following the details below on your screen now. Now, next week's show is really exciting because we've got some of the best creative and digital media companies coming to our office in Creative North to find out more about exporting and what it can do for them. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we've changed their mindset and we're going to start exporting now as a region. We'll see you next week.